Hi boys and girls, I would love if you'd read with me today. So in order to follow along, you will need week 21 of your Studies Weekly magazine. Okay? Today we're going to be learning about an interesting topic and a topic that really everyone can relate to. So I'm excited to see and hear your thoughts about this topic. Our topic is culture. Okay, this fancy word with the C, that's the word culture. It says, what is culture? It's an interesting word, but I think as we dive into some of the meanings of it and what makes up culture, you'll be able to really start thinking about yourself and your family and maybe what culture you are a part of and what cultural things you guys celebrate and you do. Culture is the way people act and what they believe. People show culture in many ways, okay? So right now you might still be thinking, huh? But I think when we open this up here, you're going to start to say, ah. So let's take a look at all the different parts of culture. Okay, culture is not just one single thing. There are first lots of different cultures, and there are lots of different parts of each culture. It makes everyone different, and it's something that makes the world an awesome place. So the first thing is celebrations. Cultures have different celebrations. Some cultures celebrate special days with food. Some celebrate with decorations or dances. You might recognize some of the things in this picture. There's a boy wearing red, white, and blue with an American flag, and he's eating a hot dog. If your family celebrates this, you might be thinking, oh yeah, I know that. That's probably 4th of July, or maybe Memorial Day. Okay, others might not recognize that because maybe your family's culture does not celebrate that. There are way more celebrations, and we also sometimes call them holidays for cultures. The other thing is food. The foods that people eat are part of their culture. So, for instance, not everyone eats the same food at home. Maybe you have a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who makes a certain special food because it's part of your family's culture. Here's another thing, language. People speak different languages, okay? At home, at school, maybe with different people in your family. They share their culture by sharing their language. Down here we see an example. There's a boy saying hello. Okay, many of us speak English. Okay, some of us might also speak another language. This little girl says aloha. That's hello in Hawaiian. That is one way that Hawaiians keep their culture. They speak a different language. Some of you might know how to speak Spanish. Or maybe some of you can understand it if your family speaks it, but maybe you don't speak it yourself. Those different languages are part of culture. Next page, it has art. And you see a girl, and she's painting something, and it doesn't really look like a picture of something that I would know or a word that I would know. But I bet makes perfect sense in her culture. Art helps us learn about different cultures. Cultures have different types of art. Paintings, sculptures, and buildings can help us learn about a culture. So there are museums that show different types of art to show different cultures. I'm sure if you went on the internet nowadays, you can find lots of different cultural artworks. Then we have stories and books. People share their cultures by sharing stories. These stories can be in books. Stories told over and over become folk tales. The stories and books become part of a culture. A folk tale is like a story that people have been telling for years and years and years and years in your culture. Where maybe it's not a real story, or maybe parts of it don't seem real, but it's been told so long that it's just part of your culture. It's a tradition to tell that story. And then last we have clothes here. And you see in the picture 2 different kiddos, and they're wearing 2 very different outfits, right? The clothes that people wear can be part of culture. Where we live can affect what clothes we wear. Okay, so our culture can affect that, but also where we live can affect what we wear. You see this boy, he's wearing some sporty clothes. He looks like he's ready to play baseball, right? This girl looks like she's clapping her hands. She might be doing a dance. This is a traditional cultural outfit that some might do a special dance in. And then you also see this girl who's reading the book making this silly face. She has something on her head. Okay, we don't always see children with things wrapped on their head like this. It is part of her culture. And it's different than what we're used to, perhaps, what some of us are used to, but we have to be able to accept each other's differences. Everyone in the world believes something different, okay? And the great thing is when people can believe different things, but be okay with that. And be interested in maybe learning more about another's culture or another's beliefs. I'm on the back now. Religion is part of culture. Different cultures have or believe different things. Like I said, everyone might believe different things. Celebrations and traditions can come from what people believe. And then culture in the community. Okay, community is a good word to remember. Remember, that's where people live and work and play together, is a community. Culture helps people to work together. We share our culture by sharing our talents and beliefs. This can help bring our community together. So whether we have the same culture as others in our community or whether we don't, those things can still bring us together, because either maybe we believe the same thing and so that brings us together, or maybe we have different beliefs but we'd like to learn and accept each other for those beliefs, so that also can bring us together in our communities. Can you think of any sort of maybe celebrations or holidays that your culture celebrates? Or maybe there's a certain food your family eats that is directly related to where they're from. Maybe you have a family member or family members that are from a different country. Okay, maybe that affects the foods that they eat and the foods that they cook. Like I said, some of us might speak a different language at home than we do at school. Okay? Start thinking about some things or some parts of your culture at home. Thanks for reading with me. You'll go ahead and finish your activity and hear the rest of your directions on Seesaw.